So just here from Jarblehead, we were talking about guys like Sean Ryan, huge shout out, great guy, great show, and we're not anywhere near that level, but we are some regular guys. I'm a United States Marine, and this is Brian, and he's a bubblehead. This is where we get jarhead, bubblehead,
Yeah, so we
jarblehead.
took the one word and then we took the other word
Shut your mouth.
and and then
I thought of the whole thing.
the middle is the new word. See the
Wait,
middle?
wait. What? So anyway, just telling regular stories about guys enlisted because it's one of the greatest experience, craziest experience, and you'll never have friends like that, and you never experience things like that ever again. And it's kind of surreal driving off base for the last time. So, a quick story. Obviously, in the Marine Corps, when you go through boot camp, you're going to hit the gas chamber. Kind of people dread it, but it's not that bad. Like everything in the United States Marine Corps, do exactly what they tell you, and you'll be fine. I did panic a little bit, but I'll tell you this: when you go into the gas chamber in boot camp, it's no joke. They saturate that windowless room with gas, and they take you in there, and you have to off mask, they call it, and you have to, as they walk around, there's people in there that control the gas. These are the NBC guys, nuclear, biological, chemical. That's their job. That's their MOS. And so they're in there walking around, making sure you demask and you say your serial number, which used to be your social number, which your social security number, which is on everything.
Yeah.
Because nowadays you can't do, so it's probably different. But anyway, you had to be able to say that and then put your mask on and do what's dawn and clear, which means you push down there, makes a fart noise, which blows the gas out, and then get a proper seal on your face. And so they go, "You getting gas?" And guys are doing the pee dance back and forth, like can't breathe. It smells like a burning GI Joe, is what it smelled like to me, because that's what I did when I was a kid. But it smells like burning plastic, and then bam, it burns, and all the mucus comes out of everywhere. And once you dawn and clear, you have to gain confidence in your mask and breathe a little bit, and then you'll single file out of there. If you make a break for the door and you panic, they will tackle you and keep you in there until you get it right. And that's just it, man. It's as smooth as fast, calm, cool, and collective. Get your bearings. That's what being in Marine Corps is all about. And I'm sure, and I've been around and been in some of those echelons where even the spec ops guys will tell you, calm, cool, and collective. You're making better decisions. You're not panicking. Trusting your gear and knowing how to use your gear in really, really stressful moments. And I think that's what it's all about. So you do that once, and then every few months they have to test your gear, and so you go to the gas chamber again, but it's not a torture session. It's just to make sure your gas mask works. So they get you in there, and the NBC guys are in the middle of this generally cinder block room, which are everywhere, even in Okinawa, by the gas, over by the rifle range, and all over the place. And you go there and you just single file in, and they'll have you do jumping jacks and jump around and do this. And the NBC guys are in the middle, burning the gas and keeping that room saturated with gas. And they're going around and asking you, "You getting gas? You getting gas? You getting gas? You getting gas?" Right? And you got to shake your head around and all that kind of stuff. And and you get used to it. So we're in Okinawa, and and the two NBC guys in the middle, they're wearing full mock gear because they're in there for hours, right? We're only
Yeah.
in there for 15 minutes, 10, not even that. It's probably seems like 15 minutes, probably 5 minutes. You're getting gas and you get the hell out of there. But if you mess around, they're going to keep you in there, like dancing and shit. But the two guys got into an argument when I went in there, and I was right next to the famous Kreider. That was my roommate. We were pretty famous in the battalion, and he's just this Georgia boy, and hard as a goddamn coffin nail, but still a very great friend to today. But he noticed that the two guys were arguing. Ooh, ooh, that's all we could hear, right? But they're not paying attention to this big ass coffee can full of these gigantic horse pills that they break open onto a hot plate that burns the gas
Yeah.
into the air. And they got a fan sitting there, and they're arguing, and he just looks around and just goes very casually, reaches into that can and grabs a handful of these fuckers. And I'm like,
Not even one
No, not one. No, I'm going for it, right?
into the pocket.
Yeah, but your mop gear is just so, or even your camis. There's plenty of places. And so as we're going out, I'm like this. I'm like looking at him like, what you gonna do with that, right? And he's like, I don't know, give it to some stray fucking dog, or some. He was the kind of guy. He's a different kind of character. But anyway, I was also excited because this is not only my best friend but my roommate. And we get back, and some days go by, and of course you forget about it because you're doing shit, right? You're going to rev range, this and that. And then suddenly, and he's smart. He's not stupid. He knew I would forget about it after a while, not think too much about it. We caught a centipede like this big coming out of my laundry bag. That's the thing about being in Okinawa. You're like, oh fucking K. And we put it in a jar and put CS gas. It didn't like that at all. But this stuff is so fine. It's like ground glass is what it feels like. So the first thing we did was took this guy's cigarettes and just barely, man, flipped one upside down. And I'm telling you, 100 times I went like this and flicked the pack and see which one came out first. So I took that one and packed a tiny bit in there, a tiny bit from one of these pills. And, you had nothing better to do. We're in Okinawa. Like, you don't have the TV in your room anymore. Like, there's nothing to do.
Yeah.
So we're like, okay, that stuff is so fine that all the cigarettes from that one cigarette were infected. Like, if you touched your lip with it, it started to burn. And it was all over my fingers. I had to wash it for like, 20 minutes to get it off. Well, then, so this guy comes out and he takes a cigarette. Sure enough, man, he gets the right one. And not only does he light it, he lights it with like a torch. And it burns up. And with the 1 second, he goes. So we had to, like government buildings, you have to be like I think it's 30 yards away. So there was like a designated smoking area.
Yeah.
And they call it, the smoking lamp is on. You can go smoke. So we're smoking cigarettes. And as soon as he lights it, he's like, so yeah, man, we're going to Peas. Why in the fuck? My nickname was Peas. Like, why in the fuck? He throws the cigarette and takes off into the barracks. He's done. And I walk in. I can't stop laughing. I feel so bad, but it's just so funny because, when you're close to guys like that and you prank them, it's just, you see him fall down, you laugh for 4 hours because you just know each other. And he was just sitting over the water fountain spitting it. And as I walked by, he's like, you piece, But so that passed. And again, a couple days go by and then it's Saturday. So Saturdays, not much to do. You're going to get up. You can go to Chow if you want to. And guys probably going to hit the PX. And it's a small base, Camp Schwab in Okinawa. And so my roommate's gone. Gary's gone. Kreider's gone. And so I'm getting prepped to go walk around base and maybe go get a haircut, whatever I got to do. And I put deodorant on, especially when you're in your 21, 22, you're all about the getting gussied up.
Yep.
And I'm telling you, I was put it on. I was like, man, it's just not sitting right. It's a tropical island, so I was sweating a little bit, but it's cool in the room. And I was like, well, wait a second, man, this shit is really. And then right away it hit me. I grabbed my deodorant, took the lid off, and looked at it. And I looked at myself in the mirror and went, because you could see it was all discolored. And I was like, mother. And you're like, I was like 22, something like that, and the amount of anger, I was so mad. So I got in the shower, and it took 45 minutes till it stopped burning. I just had to keep it burned, man.
Yeah.
And so then I was so mad, I broke the mop that we had in the room, and I waited by the door. I was like, as soon as he walks in, I'm going to level him. All right? I'm just going to right across his nose. And then like 30, 40 minutes goes by, and I'm like, okay, well, this is getting old. And plus, it's stupid. I don't want to. First of all, I don't really want to hurt him like that.
Right.
I had to calm down.
Yeah.
So then I was like, what does he really like? Well, the didn't like really going to Chow at 5:30 in the morning. Like, because in Okinawa, it wasn't all that great either. Like eggs, couldn't really tell if they were real. It's just like, okay, you could always go down to the PX and buy a loaf of bread and some peanut butter. In his case, he got Goober Grape, which is the peanut butter and jelly mixed already.
The striped and
so I looked over we called him a secretary, but everyone, they were 2-man rooms, and you had like a bookshelf with a fold-down desk that had a lamp in it. So you could do your paperwork if you had to. Then you had your drawers. That's where you kept all your shit, right? Then you had a wall locker for your uniforms and your gear. Well, I looked up and it hit me. There's this thing of goober grape sitting up there next to his little bread. His favorite. And keep in mind, I was super pissed. So I grabbed it, I opened it up, and I was like, perfect. He's been digging right out of the middle. And so I did it. I went into the bathroom there and got the squat, and I dropped a little deuce right in there, right in the middle. It was like a perfect shot. And then I put the lid on it and, sprayed the area out and everything and put it on the shelf right back where it was. Well, I mean, that was Saturday, right? So Sunday, Monday, and then, of course, everyone hears about, because one guy went by the room when I was sitting there scrubbing my armpits, and he's like, what the hell happened to you? And I showed him my deodorant, and that spread through the fucking battalion, dude. 800 Marines knew what happened to me. I was just walking down the street in Camp Schwab, and people were like, oh, yeah, that sucks, man. Right in the armpits, huh? Oof. And so I'm hearing about this for days, but I got to keep my mouth shut because I don't want him to go up and check it. And then we're all like Sunday or Monday night, we're playing cards in the room, and Gary wasn't there, and this sniper, we called him Shaky Jake. He was a sniper, but he was like this, and he always put a dip in. He's like, but he could ding a target at fucking 1,000 yards, iron sights, man. The guy was crazy. He was like a hunter from Pennsylvania, and he was a hell of a sniper. But he just had this thing, man. He's always dipping and drinking beer. If we weren't on duty, he was like, "Want to play cards?" and he goes, "Peace. I heard what he did. That's terrible." That's how he talked, like Beavis. That's terrible. And I was so fed up. I said, "Yeah, look in his peanut butter." And he goes up to the shelf, Shaky Jake, and he grabs it and he unscrews it, and he goes, tsh, and he goes, no other smell. I mean, just filled the room. All he did was crack it, and then screwed it back on and went, and retched all the way to the head, and threw up, and he came back on, and he goes, "Hey, that's terrible. That's terrible." And I was like, you can't tell anybody, nobody, because it'll get out. He managed to keep his mouth shut, and then it gets to be like, man, like I think it was Monday morning. We're getting up, shave, right? Got to get ready. So we're shaving, and I see this guy. Now, Kreider will fucking, something goes down, there's no hesitation. You're going to get hit in the fucking nose, right? And I got used to that. And so, dude, we caught each other on fire a couple times, but I'll tell you about that later. But he starts going for his shit. He's setting up his little, got the bread out, and I'm like, oh, shit, I better hurry up and shave, because I don't know what he's going to do, man.
Yeah.
He's going to be like, ah. And so he opens it up, and it smells right, but there's still the shaving cream and the hot water, and maybe I farted. He's just kind of like, you can see he's thrown off, but man, puts the knife in it, and I'm wiping off with the door open. He goes, and the jars spin, and he's like, whoa, hey, what is that? And he grabbed it, and he goes, what is that? What is that? And then he went, you shit in my peanut butter. You shit. And then he threw the knife out the window and screwed the top on. He went, looking at me, he was like, he goes, that's it. It's over. It's over, man. No more of this. Any man that's going to go as far as shit in my peanut butter. He threw it out the fucking window. And of course, everybody died, man. I got back to the United States. We were there for about 2 weeks, and then we went over to Bridgeport, California to do mountain warfare, like rock climbing and shit. And the instructors there, they were like, wait a minute, first down Age Marines? Is there a guy here that's shitting some dude's peanut butter? And I was like, you gotta be kidding me. We were in Japan. And these motherfuckers heard about it. So that was a big one, man. Yeah. So he burned my armpits out. A guy smoked a cigarette with CS gas in it. And then a dude got human shit in his peanut butter. That's typical life in Marine Corps infantry, but it's a lot of fun. It can be very dangerous, but hey, where else can you lift up those boards when you move into a new room and find Portamags? Maybe a bottle of whiskey.
Yeah.